Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news. I don't know if you guys have watched the press conference. Chelsea press conference literally took place about 5 minutes ago and it abruptly ended like probably 3 minutes into the press conference. They had to just cut it off. I don't know why they cut it off, but I get the feeling they probably cut it off because the press conference was going south. Look, newsflash. I think it is now well and truly confirmed that Enzo Maresca's relationship with the hierarchy, Chelsea hierarchy, is pretty much damaged. It is ruined because this press conference that just took place, my expectation was that Enzo Maresca, obviously, he was going to get bombarded with a whole heap of questions off the back of what he said post Everton victory. See, this is why you have to be so careful what you say. You have to be so careful. In the media, if you say something that's going to create a chaos, you best believe you better be ready for the repercussion. And I don't know if Enzo Maresca really thought this out, what he said post the Everton game, that the past 48 hours has been the toughest for him at Chelsea Football Club since he's arrived. And he said that he completely supports the fans. He's got no issues with the fans, which only leaves the people internally at Chelsea Football Club. Now, off the back of that, in this press conference before the Cardiff game, he should have known. Those were the questions that he was going to get asked about. The 48 hours, the worst he's ever felt at Chelsea. He should have prepared. And I thought in this press conference, my expectation was that he was going to come out and just say, I'm pretty sure they would have talked about it. I'm sure Enzo Maresca and the Chelsea hierarchy, whether it's sporting directors, owners, they would have all talked about it. And he would have come out in this press conference and would have said, do you know what, guys? You took it the wrong way. That's not what I meant. My relationship with the owners, the sporting directors is all fine. It's all well and dandy. There was none of that. In fact, what Enzo Maresca said probably says a lot more about how really bad this situation is. The fact that his response, and this was his response, right, more or less, I'm just paraphrasing, is that I've got nothing more to say. I said what I said. I have nothing more to say. I respect each and every one of your opinions, and we'll leave it at that. How is that response an adequate response here? How can he come to this press conference and actually say, I've got nothing more to add? My man, you need to add. You need to say it's all fine, because now it's confirmed it's not fine. Yeah, well, it's for me. I don't know about you guys. Some people are saying, oh, Miz, you're being overly dramatic, this, that. Oh, really? I've seen how this ends. This isn't my first rodeo. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I've seen similar situations with other managers, and they've gone through this path, and that path leads to one thing only, which is you're leaving Chelsea Football Club. Now, I said this in my previous video, the last one that I just did, right, earlier on, late on yesterday, UK time, that I don't know whether Enzo Maresca is manufacturing his own departure here. I'm not really sure. Someone said something really, really interesting to me since the last video, that he did join George Mendes recently. Enzo Maresca switched his agency with George Mendes. Now, I don't know whether he's also thinking about the future, whether he sees himself as a Chelsea manager any longer, whether he feels what he's done so far is as far as it can go. Now, let me just give you my feelings about Enzo Maresca first. I don't want him to go. But I do also want to state, he's made mistakes, man. Let's not run away from that. It's okay to say that I don't want Enzo Maresca to go, because I believe he can do quite a lot with the current squad and still achieve quite a lot this season. But at the same time, I can also say you've not done well enough this season. There's been times where you've directly made mistakes, which has cost the team. You need to learn and don't repeat those mistakes over and over again. Right? And I've elaborated on those mistakes in a broader manner in previous videos, and I don't want to take up this video talking about those mistakes again. I think each and every one of you guys know, the different mistakes that were made in the losses that we've incurred or matches that we've dropped points on this season. It's very well documented what has gone wrong. So I don't want this manager to go because I think we can still do something. But if he continues in this manner, it leaves the owners no options but to let him go. And I've also mentioned several times, the owners and directors, they're culpable as well. I think the first thing we need to realize, directors are only following orders from the owners. Owners give a broad objective, directors go out there and do the job. Directors have got a long-term contract. They just got their contract renewed. I've said these owners and these directors, this is not the philosophy I wish we went forward with. This youthful philosophy, this youthful project, lack of experience. But at the same time, I've said now, though, in this current state, there's a lot of good in the team. We've suffered, but we've got to this situation now under Enzo Maresca's guidance where there's been a nice foundation built. So I can't just sit here and fully complain about the owners and the directors anymore. They're still culpable, though, because you should have done a little bit more in the last summer window to really catapult Enzo Maresca to a new level. But at the same time, it wasn't as if whatever Enzo Maresca was given was just foul. It cannot be, it's not workable. You can't work with that. No, it wasn't. So I don't know why Enzo Maresca has taken this path, but it feels like the departure is probably soon. Whether it happens during this season, whether it happens at the end of this season, but I think the relationship is coming to an end between Enzo Maresca and Chelsea hierarchy. That includes the owners and the sporting directors. It's sad. It really is sad. Enzo Maresca would have known what he's getting into. I hate when people say, oh, the owners and the directors have completely let Enzo Maresca down. Okay, yeah, sure. In some sense, they have, but Enzo Maresca knew what he was getting into, no? Like, I'm sure you're not getting into a job having false promises being given to you. You should have known when walking into this current Chelsea what you're walking into. And to all the people that want to completely blame the owners and the directors, that's fine. No problems. I was doing that for the past 3 seasons. The problem here is you're not going to get rid of the owners. You're not. You can't. No one's going to go out there and protest anymore. I'm sorry. And on top of that, when there is some level of good in the team, it's just not going to happen. The entire squad is not bad. There's a lot of good in the squad. So look, for me, ladies and gentlemen, that was a bizarre press conference. As I said, it further highlights and it confirms to me that the relationship between Enzo Maresca and Chelsea hierarchy is pretty damaged. And I'm scared as to where the club's going to head now, what the future holds. I hope we go and beat Cardiff and go to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, and whoever we face, we win there and go to the final and try and see if we can get a domestic cup this season. I'm scared what it's going to look like for us in the Premier League, how the players in the Champions League as well, how the players are going to take all of this. Can we still be professional enough and go out there and do the business? Because, yeah, I just wish, Enzo Maresca, you didn't say what you said after the Everton game. Whatever the problem was, I wish you just took care of it behind the scenes. Talk, because what's the benefit? What was the benefit? By saying what you said after the Everton game, what benefit did anyone get out of this? Us as a fan base, do you think we're so happy? Oh, okay, now we know the truth. Enzo Maresca, he's unhappy with the owners and the sporting directors. We're not going to be able to get rid of them. And in essence, this season, some of the losses and some of the games we've dropped points, you can't say, oh, that's the sporting directors and the owners' fault. There's been times where Enzo Maresca has been culpable and directly been involved. Now, a lot of people are saying Enzo Maresca feels demeaned, that maybe over the last 48 hours comment that he said, he doesn't like being questioned. He does not want to be questioned by Chelsea hierarchy on what he does in terms of footballing matters. I'm sorry, Enzo Maresca, you need to calm yourself down. You're a rookie manager. You're not a Pep Guardiola. You're not a Jurgen Klopp. You're not a Jose Mourinho. You're not XYZ, right? Some of the top managers in world football. You're someone who's gone from Leicester to Chelsea. You've done well in Chelsea, but let's not act as if you've won the Premier League in your first season, or you've won the You've won the Club World Cup, which is fantastic, and you've won the Conference League, which is also great. You need to calm yourself down. You're learning as well. So you're going to be questioned. Why the ego? Or are you trying to manufacture a way out? For me, look, I just hope this doesn't have a severe impact on the season. Every season, it seems like during the month of December, something notorious happens and it all starts going south. Last season, Mudryk news, if you guys remember, just before the Everton game, before I think it was Christmas Eve or something like that, and then everything went south after that. Prior to that, we were 2 points away from Liverpool, and after that, it just went south. I just hope that all of this, whatever has happened, it doesn't go south. And I have to say, I'm disappointed that Enzo Maresca said what he said after that Everton game, because it's created a mess. It's created a mess. Much like, and I know the severity is the size of the matter is probably a little less, maybe not, but in regards to Mo Salah, for example, what he did, that was just an absolute nuclear bomb, right? But the way we've said that that's not right, he shouldn't have done that. Similarly, I have to say, Enzo Maresca, what you said, should have kept it behind scenes. And now it's become a circus. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts, how you felt about the press conference. And also, as I said, the press conference finished abruptly because Enzo Maresca just kept on repeating the same answer and not really cooling the situation. And I think they just cut the stream off. The press conference went for less than 3 minutes, and it felt like it was damage control, and they just cut the stream off. Bizarre. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about the press conference? How do you feel? Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya. Bye.